Alright guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching. Thanks for joining back again to watch the video. As usual, back again to let you know what's happening with the Super Eagles and the Unity Cup games and the friendly games as well that we're preparing to play this May's end slash first week of June. So a lot of interesting stories have been coming out, over the last couple of days, and unfortunately I've not been here to update you guys with a video. Just wanted to say a quick apology for that one, but I'm back again, so we can just continue from here. And of course we have a lot of interesting stories to talk about, particularly the fact that Chelle and NFF have now decided to bring out the two lists, categorically. One is for the Unity Cup games and the other one is for the friendly games against just one game against Russia. That one is, I think, 6th of June, and then the Unity Cup games is set to start from the 26th, 25/26th. So that's what's currently happening right now. The list is really exciting and interesting if you look at it, because there are a few players who have been handed their first international call up into the squad, and I'm really very excited to see some of these guys. For example, the likes of CHRISANTUS, who we have been clamoring for, for the longest time, that this man has really done enough to be called up into the squad. He finally gets his first call, to represent the Super Eagles in the Unity Cup. And then we have the likes of AGU, a defender who plays in the German Bundesliga. He's obviously impressed very much. And if you follow the channel, there were times I talked about the fact that Chelle is pursuing this man and trying to get him to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And he also said it himself that he feels that he's ready and he would love to represent his fatherland. So obviously it's a really big congratulations for these guys who will be hopefully making their debut in these games. But we also have an NPFL star, Xavier Isaac, who also gets the call up to represent in the Unity Cup game. So these guys will be very happy that they've actually made the cut, to represent the country in this game coming up in the UK. And then in the attacking areas, we have some really interesting names. Victor Osimhen is the biggest exemption in this list, that has been snubbed right now. But of course we've been talking about that leading up to this list coming out, that Osimhen is not going to be chanced to come play for us, because he still has game in the Super League with Galatasaray as late as 1st of June, and that is that's really complicated. There's no way he's going to have chance to come play for us in this game. But it's not a problem if you ask me, because obviously the reasons for these Unity Cup games is to actually give Chelle and Super Eagles the opportunity to test these players and to see the players who are fit to be brought in when we want to play serious games like the World Cup qualifying series coming up in September. So Victor Osimhen is already number one, hashtag number one when it comes to forward areas. So for me, I think he's the only person who has a guaranteed shirt in this team. So even if he doesn't play in this game, there's no problem. So Chelle is going to want to look for someone that will impress well enough to pair him with Victor Osimhen for more important games like the qualifiers. So this game will just be for Chelle and the NFF as some sort of trial, if you like, so that they can see how these guys perform, and then possibly give them more call-ups for more important games. But of course, Seredesas make the squad again, and I'm really happy to see Seredesas making the squad. The man has obviously, paid his bill. He paid the price to be put in that list. We saw the goals I scored. Scored a lot of goals. I think 26, 27 goals this season, and he won the highest goal scorer of the Scottish Premier League. So obviously, there was no way that he was to be left out, because if that happened, obviously it was going to bring a lot of criticism, a lot of side talks from the fans, because the man truly deserves to be there. So of course, Al Kodari makes a comeback as well, and then there's guys like Ahmed Musa, which I've been talking about for like 2 weeks ago. That he was one of the first people that Kujarisha contacted even before the list came out, and told that he's going to be the one that captains the team in this Unity Cup game. So it's a very, very interesting squad, and we just hope to see these guys blend well and play good football, and then hopefully get the results that they are called in for. Then goalkeeping area, we see Maduka Okoye gets back into the squad. Amos Obasege retains his slot. Stanley Wabali, comes back to the squad as well. So it's going to be very interesting. Maybe just maybe Maduka Okoye might get some role to play in this Unity Cup games, because obviously we've seen him come to the camp a lot of times, but Stanley Wabali just hasn't been able to allow this man space to show what he can do for the national team. Although we might argue that he had his time, back then in 2021 when Coach Osimhen was the caretaker, and then he disappointed the fans, the country by large. But nevertheless, that one is bygone, and for the fact that we have a new coach is going to want to see these guys in action with his own very eyes, and ascertain if they are good enough for him to move forward with. But that's not the only list. As I said, there's another list, and this second one is for the friendly game versus Russia coming up on June 6th. In that list, we have Maduka Okoye and Obasogie. No Stanley Nwabali for this list. And then defenders, we have pretty much the names that we already know: Ekong, I know Igor, Bright to say, Bruno Onyemechi, Ajayi. The midfield areas, we have the likes of CHRISANTUS, Uche, who made the Unity Cup list, and he also appears in this one, which is very fantastic for him as well. Papa Daniel as well made both of this list, so it's really, really interesting for these guys. And then for the attacking areas, Cyril Dessers has been dropped for these friendly games, and then as well Victor Osimhen not mentioned for this one. Sadiq Kumar as well is a notable exclusion from this list. So it doesn't really parade a lot of players, but if you look at the squad, it's really trimmed. And we have guys like Chukwueze, Ian Acho being called back into the squad. Nathan Teller as well, which is very worthy mention. He also gets mentioned in the squad, not just the friendly games but also in the Unity Cup games. He made the two list for this game. So this is basically how the list looks like. Let me know your opinion about these two lists. Do you think it's a fair list? Do you think that the guys that made this list are the guys that truly deserves to be in this list, or you're sensing another foul player concerning some of the guys that we were supposed to see and we didn't get to see them? So guys, that's the updates. Make sure to drop your reaction concerning this new list. And then of course over the weekend, Victor Osimhen lifted his second trophy with Galatasaray, winning the league title, the Turkish Super League with Galatasaray, and a lot of very happy moments for the young man. One of such moments being the fact that when he scored a goal, which he did score a goal in that game, that game over the weekend. But the very interesting thing was that his daughter Haley Osimhen, I think she's just about maybe 2 or 3 years or so, was the one that announced Victor Osimhen in the stadium on the microphone. So it was very, very, very interesting event that happened over the weekend. I have a couple of videos I'm going to attach at the end of the video concerning Victor Osimhen's goal, his daughter announcing his name after he scored a goal, the celebration and things like that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more updates.